guys, welcome back to Let's Go Mental. My name is Warime. Now in today's video, I have a good friend of mine who has taken the time to come and do this video with me. So I'll let him introduce himself and then we can get right into it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My name is Edgar Odhiambo. I am an upcoming entrepreneur who loves life.
Okay.
Yeah. Love life, food,
Uh-huh.
watching sports, dancing, listening to music.
Yeah.
And on days when I feel like I need a distraction, I like to clean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. For a guy, that's actually very
I
interesting.
like to clean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So guys, in today's video, Edgar will be with us to talk about his experience in life. I'll let him get into it shortly. As you're aware, Let's Go Mental is a platform where we get to create mental health awareness and to demystify mental illnesses. And the reason why I've had Edgar here today specifically is because May is a mental health awareness month, where stakeholders get to create awareness on mental health. Edgar, maybe you could tell us, have you been through any form of mental illness?
Yes, I have. I have been through depression and I've been through anxiety.
Okay.
Yes.
That's cool. And I must say that it's actually very brave of you to share this. Of course, first of all, being Kenyan,
Yes.
and then number two, dude,
Yes.
because of course people say that you can't discuss certain things.
Yes.
However, now I would like to know that before that, did you know about mental illnesses? Did you know what they were, and specifically depression?
I never knew much about mental health, to be honest. The most I think I knew back in the day was I was hearing it in the movies. People saying they're depressed, and then they go to a shrink and they are given a chair to lie on, and there's a doctor just asking a bunch of questions and writing notes.
Yes.
Then later on in life, I'd say around 2010, 2011 is when I first came into close contact with mental health, specifically depression, because of my mom.
Okay.
She had been going through depression for quite some time. I just didn't know about it. But later on, she sat me down and explained to me what it was, what she was going through, and why she was going through it. And that she started seeking help through a therapist. At some point, she also got linked with a psychiatrist who put on some medication. And yeah, that's at least from my first contact with mental health came about that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that must have been quite difficult for your family.
Yeah.
And especially now when we're talking about our parents.
Yes.
I mean, it's something that very few people knew or even went to seek help on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like for our parents are like our superheroes. You wouldn't think that they would be going through anything. It's us, their kids, who go through stuff, and then them coming to rescue us from the troubles of life.
Yeah.
But this was me, a kid who's looking up to my mom and seeing that she's actually going through quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think what made me feel awful about it is not being able to be there for her the way she wanted.
Okay.
It was a cry for help. She was vocal about her not being okay, but I just didn't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's come back to you. Because you've told us that you were diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorder.
Yes.
So what symptoms were you experiencing for you to know that you were not okay?
I think ever since I was growing up, things that seemed a bit off, but this is of course learning about them later, that they were not normal, they were slightly over normal, was me not being able to focus on reading very well. So in school I struggled, with reading for exams, reading for continuous assessment tests. Just being able to read a chapter and focus on it was not very easy. My attention span was very short. The other thing was also, I remember when reading, I'd always have a physical feeling in my throat. It's like there was a lump inside there. The other thing I experienced was tightness in my chest.
Okay.
So my chest would get really tight and it would feel like it's I literally about to burst out of my chest,
Yeah.
but of course it didn't. The other thing also was being overly sad.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just not normal sadness. It's sadness that I couldn't explain. You know, and people would come and tell you, okay, you know, get over it, you'll be fine. Just snap out of it. Let go of what you can't control. What is, you know, what is out of your control. Just let go of it, and you'll be fine. But it seemed to be a bit more difficult than it was for other people. Other people were able to just let go and let live. But for me, it was hard. You know, other things were getting out of bed in the morning was difficult. I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to draw the curtains. By the time I was gathering the strength to shower in the morning, it could probably be around 11, 12. And at that time, I didn't have a job, so I had a whole day to spare. I had a whole day to myself, so I could sleep. Then another thing is sleeping more than usual. So there's 8 hours that you as a human being are meant to have, you know, on a normal night. But now you're getting to a situation where you'd have your 8 hours and then struggle to wake up, and then in the course of the day have another 2 to 4 hours of sleep somehow fixed into your day. And you know, that just wasn't normal. You know, and then also another thing was just lacking motivation to do anything. You know, whether it's to get up and as I said, shower, to go and eat. That was a struggle. And I remember eating became a struggle to a point where I would puke bile, just so that I could get the strength to now be like, okay, Edgar, talk myself into going to eat. But that would be probably the only meal I'd have in maybe a day or 2 days. Sometimes it would take 2 days before I'd get a solid meal into my body. Another way it presented itself was through loss of appetite. And then in addition to that, I mean, I'm someone who, for people who know me, I'm social. I know very many people from all walks of life. And when I noticed there was a problem was when I stopped communicating with people. I started disassociating with myself from others. So people would call me, I'd not pick up their calls. Or if I had the strength to go and hang out with them, I would be there physically, but mentally and emotionally I checked out. So, you know, people were like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. But I knew deep down I really wasn't. But I just didn't know how to explain it to them without, you know, maybe feeling judged or whatever. So I was scared of, you know, coming out and saying that I'm not okay. So there's disassociation, and which just led me to now just stay at home, specifically in my room, and not want to interact with anyone, be it my family, be it my friends, my relatives, no one. Yes.
And did you experience any suicidal thoughts? Because you know that is one of the major symptoms of depression.
Yes. I did. Reason being, my personality is that of when I'm going through stuff, I would come out and give a slight hint that I'm not okay. Either in a cryptic way, or if I had the courage, I'd try and just tell you I'm not okay. Something is off. Now, with my family specifically, those were my immediate go-to. I think as probably it's the same case for anyone. And I just didn't know. I went to them and I told them, yes, I'm not okay, but I didn't get the support that I felt I deserved. You know, I didn't have people coming to my room and getting me out of bed, whether it was by force, but getting me out of bed, opening the curtains, getting me to eat, getting me out of the house, you know, getting me something to do to just keep me busy and keep my mind occupied. Instead, I think, I don't know, for whatever reason, I didn't get that support, and so it's like my family in their own way just checked out as well. So now I started feeling alone. And so now this is me alone physically, alone with my thoughts, and feeling like, you know, there's really nothing life has to offer me. So hopelessness started coming in, lack of faith, lack of motivation, what we call also a self-beat down.
Yeah.
You know, you just, you look at yourself as someone who doesn't deserve anything out of life.
Yeah.
And that also, like I explained, comes with some, not just emotional pain, but comes with physical pain. And how best to describe it is just feeling empty.
Yeah.
So that emptiness got me feeling suicidal.
Yeah.
The only thing that stopped me from taking my own life was fear.
Yeah.
I'd lost a few friends to suicide, but now it came to me, you know, either it's whether it's by hanging, whether it's by taking pills, or drinking poison. I just didn't have the courage to do it. But the feeling of if I wasn't present in this world would be better.
Yes. Yes.
Because then I'll not have to deal with what I'm dealing with, that pain every single day.
Yeah.
And but I experienced it more than I can count. You know, so, and it turns out I just didn't have anyone to talk to and tell them that, you know, I'm going through these things, because I think the times that I tried to say or speak about how I was feeling, I'd always be met with the reaction of everyone goes through challenges in life, and you'll get through it, you'll be fine, or if possible snap out of it, you know, just let go of what you can't control. But everything felt difficult. Yeah.
And also maybe I can just add this, for personally, on a personal level, of course I've also struggled with suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
There's also the other issue of, I mean, even if I call Edgar, I will feel better for that 15 minutes that I've talked to him on phone.
Yes.
But the feeling won't go away.
Yes.
Once you hang up, or once you meet someone and tell them, this is what I'm feeling.
Yes.
When you go home and you're alone,
Yes.
the feeling, that intense feeling of pain and worthlessness is still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what people don't get to understand, because, I mean, of course, you've had comments like, that person committed suicide, they are selfish,
Yes.
they are not strong, they should have been stronger, they should have managed this life better.
Yes.
And what people do not know is actually that it's the pain, the intense pain that someone is experiencing, that they want to end their own lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
To respond to that, when it comes to suicide, yes, there's a lot of people who say that, you know, the people who've taken their own lives are selfish, and that they should have reached out. And what I just like to say is that it's not as easy as that.
Yes.
The battle of the mind is the strongest battle that anyone can ever go through as a human being. You know, the mind, I think people underestimate the power the mind has over your own body, over your emotions, over your physical strength. I mean, the mind can literally shut down your own physical capability of doing a simple task as getting out of a bed and going to a shower or going to the toilet. Some people go through it so bad that they don't have the physical strength to get out of that bed to go and pee when they know they need to pee, so they end up peeing on themselves. But people don't get this, people don't understand it, and the thing is, it's not easy. It's not as easy as, hey, how are you? I think I'm having suicidal thoughts, and I think I'd like you to come and help me. No, it's not as easy as that. If it was, then the suicidal rates that we have in this world would not be as high as they are. But also people need to understand that suicide is not necessarily just because someone was feeling sad and feeling worthless. There are different causes. There are different things that actually could cause someone to take their own lives that people need to be informed about.
So what are some of these things that people need to be informed about?
Maybe from my own experience, an example I could give is the environment people are brought up in. Some people don't have the perfect, I mean, no one has a perfect family, but some people don't have functional families, they have dysfunctional families. And in my case, I've been brought up in a dysfunctional family, so to say. And with that comes, as for us, everyone was in their own corner. You know, there's my mom and my dad who had their own marital issues, and then now there was me being brought into these issues, and yet I'm a child. how do I process complex relationships like marriage, you know, that has a lot into it, and then bring in kids that are in there, you know, bring in the fact that my dad may have his own interests, my mom may have her own interests, and then, you know, there's me being told that, you know, your dad didn't do this for me, your mom didn't do this for me, and me sitting in the, you know, in the middle and wondering, what do I do? And now, growing up, I never had the opportunity to speak my mind. I never had the opportunity to say when I was sad. I never had the opportunity to say when I was angry. I learned to bottle my emotions inside. Now, what that does, case in point, my 30 or 20 years later, now that I'm 30, because I think the marital issues that my parents have gone through, I came into contact with them when I was 10. Now, 20 years down the line, I'm 30, turning 31 in a few days, and I can tell you for sure the effects of not being able to speak up then have affected me for a couple of years now, be it my relationships with intimate partners, be it with my friends, be it at my workplace, because of lack of being able to process certain emotions that I may go through while growing up. So if I was sad, or if, so let's say you are my senior in school and you bullied me, I me not being able to have the room to go and say, hi, mom, dad, I was bullied in school today, and it's making me feel, you know, sad or angry, and I don't know what to do with these emotions. Me not being taught, me not being taken through those feelings that I'm experiencing at that time, and then process them and make something positive of them, does of course lead people into, at one point, you know, maybe contemplating suicide, you know, because processing of emotions, processing of situations that make you feel certain emotions is very important. Now for me, I didn't have that. So when it came to, for example, me being in a relationship with someone, an intimate relationship with someone, and my partner may be doing something that may upset me, I didn't have the capacity and capability to tell them that I am upset with you and about what you did here and there, and I didn't know how to do it. No one gave me the tools, no one equipped me socially to be able to explain my emotions. What I used to do was bottle them in, because that's what I was used to, and then also I used to just feel that I used to feel guilty that if I spoke about what was upsetting me, it would turn them against me. It's like I was doing a bad thing.
Okay, I get
so
it.
basically what I was doing is I used to make everything about the other person, not about myself. So I used to put myself aside and always put the other person first. But in the long run, it always used to, you know, how do I put it? It always used to just bite me back from the behind. You know, it always worked against me. You know, and I was always the one on the losing end. You know, because I had the opportunity, but the thing is, to another person from the outside looking in, yo, just tell her that you're upset, tell her, but I didn't know how to do it, you know, because I felt that if I do it, then she'd be upset at me, and that's it, our relationship, now, I would now overthink it, and my relationship would be over, and now I no longer have this person in my life, and since I didn't want to lose them, I would just rather bottle my feelings in, and continue with life.
And in fact, when you say that you're afraid of losing that person, another symptom of depression is also being needy. Being needy and over-dependent on people. So you kind of feel like you cannot survive without that person. Whether it's an intimate friend relationship, or it's a friend, or even a sibling, you know, you'll find yourself wanting approval and feel like you cannot live with that person. Which is what I've experienced, and I've had to come to work on that and just realize, look, maybe you're an individual, and you need to go this life on your own. There's no one who can be, who can stand by you 24/7. You know.
When the person you depend on at one point or another isn't able to be present,
Yeah.
you have to learn to be self-sufficient. You know, you need to learn to basically, in quotes, feed yourself.
Yeah.
You know, feed
Yeah.
yourself validation, feed yourself, you know, assurance that you are capable of, you know, doing 1 or 2 or 3. You know, and but coming to what you've just said, I remember, yes, there was a time that because of I was experiencing that over dependency on people, and it felt that if I didn't have these people in my life, then my life was done.
Yeah.
It was over. I'd crumble, I'd fall. But it was all because within myself I was not self-sufficient.
Yeah.
You know, I felt that I was not able to survive. You know, so what I'd do is do anything and everything to hold on to what I felt was going right, even if it was the worst thing, even if it was the worst kind of relationship. But to me, I was always just focusing on the good, pushing aside the bad and holding on to it because I never wanted it to end. You know, but you know, of course, later on, I learned how to deal. I learned how to feed myself, even when the closest of people in my life are not able to be present for me. I just find a way to survive. It's still a learning process. I can't say I've gotten grip of it 100%. There are a few relapses here and there, especially with those close to you. I mean, disappointment will always come. So especially, you know, when someone tells you to put faith in them and they disappoint you, you're bound to feel bad. But I think it's now, I mean, what is prudent is what do you do after that? How do you deal with and still be whole? Yeah.